Hey there friends of medieval building, my name is Peter. I'm gonna talk you through how we built our town. We started off with some goods. We had a little campfire with which we started it, and our beloved friend the good old ox was also part of our journey to begin with. And after we've scouted what we could do in our area, we made a plan what we can do. But the best thing we had is a wonderful little lake just in the side of where we wanted to start our little buildings area. We had a look what is also around this area, and then we found something special within the pool, and that is Instant Gaming, which is today's sponsor of the video. My friend Peter and I are pleased to tell you Instant Gaming is a wonderful platform that offers you game keys for a great value. You have wonderful customer support 24/7, and it's super reliable, it's safe, it's no scam or whatever. You can find your favorite games, your favorite DLCs, and even your favorite in-game currency for lower prices than usually to use it in whatever system you're on. So make sure to check the link here in the description. It's all set there for you and get some good games. But now back to the story of Peter, because when we zoom out from our lake, we can see where we have found ourselves. We actually had our little camp set up right next to the lake, which was very handy. No further distances to travel or anything, we can just do whatever we wanted. And very close by we also found a nice stone deposit. This was actually a rich one, which means we can do a lot with stone. We also found some clay lying around, even though you didn't see that. I sniffed that with my way too long nose, but this is there. And zooming out, we also had a look for some wildlife, which gladly we found also a tiny bit by our side to get some hunting going on as well. A very important bit to actually start building. And so we just did start building our first house. Actually, that was mine, obviously, because I needed a little house. And after some very exhausting hammering, I found myself testing the good new bathtub, as you will see in a second. Now, here I was meeting with my lookalike, which I'm totally not going to mistake for the whole time. We were discussing the plans, what is going on in the future of this town, which actually had some challenges to overcome with a very bad fatality, and also some other issues that we will need to overcome over time. But first things first, we finished a couple of our neighbors' houses. I was very pleased to welcome all the other ones, Kunz and Hans and Friedhelm, next to me before we started digging the first spots for another hitching post and a tiny little market square in which we could then buy all our goods. Well, hold on. The problem is we didn't really have that many goods, so I decided to find my new job, which was fishing. I mean, obviously, because I didn't need to travel that much, because literally the fishing hut was just built a couple meters across the road. So I didn't need to go that far for actually doing my job and going back to the yards at the evening. And so I was doing some pleasant fishing, looking at my house, making sure no one else could go into the house and steal something from the well-fished fishies that we had. And also, as you can tell, this is the area right across the street where I had my fishing home. And from here on, we needed to go and build some more in our wonderful little town that was just starting to develop. Now, bringing back all the goods, we figured it was time to expand a little bit on what we were building, and so we decided to go for actually sorting our stuff a bit more with some good backyard farming. We needed some more food variety, and we decided to go for some fields in the first settlers' homes. Of course, I continued going to fish and bring all the stuff where it actually belonged. That was mainly, first of all, my house, and then gave it to my twin to bring it actually over to the marketplace. Well, that said, we actually kept on spending with all the foods. You can see how the stuff was growing. We were actually having people working to sow and make sure our gardens are nice while we were carrying the goods from A to B to our wonderfully new installed marketplace. We had some goods going on, stuff was growing, and we were ever expanding to continue what we wanted to build. And sooner or later, we decided to go for some religious locations, and we started to build our first chapel in the woods, which turned out very beautiful. But before it became winter, we knew we needed to have some more clothing. While I couldn't go for fishing in the winter, I helped out on the market space to deliver some goods from the storage right across over the street into the market area. Every now and then it was nice to have a talk. Here you can see this is Martha I was talking to while we had some good talks. As always, my beloved twin made sure to join the party. At this point, some evil thoughts came to my mind, what I could do with my evil twin to stop having all these terrible confusions here and there. And so I decided to make some confessions, to clean up my mind and just be prepared for what is going to come in the future. Which was more building, because we expanded our house, making sure that everything is looking nice and keeps us safe over the winter. And also I got an upgrade with some warmer clothing. We decided to expand the whole town, giving all new houses and shiny new roofs, as you can see over here. And I was making my way towards my work. Well, in the winter times I didn't have to. Sometimes we need to do some maintenance work on the fisherman's hut. Walking down there, I was also aware that we needed to organize our money a little bit better. So together we decided that it's time for the next step of our town, and we all agreed to finally build the manor, which should also receive a tax office eventually, because you know, that's the region of this planet which will eventually become Germany. And what would a German area be without taxes? Well, yeah, not Germany anymore. Anyways, eventually I found myself fishing again in the springtime because, as you know, we all need food, and food is a very vital source, just as wood is. And so we expanded on building more for our forester area. We had some carpenters, we had some, you know, forestries and stuff like that, but we also figured we needed to expand. And so it was time to bring in some more foresters' homes, some more saw pits, and just in general more to have more of what we needed, and that was wood, a lot of wood. And then I found myself fishing again. Well, actually I was fishing the whole time while the others were doing the job. You know, I found a job that was actually pretty good. You can see my house in the background, which is just across the street. And well, actually, because we needed more food and more food the whole time, we thought it was good to welcome new people. So just behind our houses, we allowed some more settlers to join the party, obviously to come with a lot more gardening and backyards that provides us with more food, and me with more food, because, you know, their gardens were just across the street. But also, we need to focus on clothing and stuff, and so we expanded our town with more and more of some more sheep and lambs eventually, but we first of all needed to set up some trade and make sure to gain some money. The newly installed tax office guaranteed that we had all the gold we needed to make sure to eventually get our very first lamb, which, as you can figure, was called Mary. You know, what else would it be called? It was a wonderful first sight in our town, and soon it should be joined by more lambs and more sheep that will eventually grant us more access to more clothing, because you can see it turned already winter again, and I was making my way from the marketplace back home, because, as you know, there was still a lot of work going on, but I enjoyed my winter break of not being able to fish. You know, I didn't spend any points, any skill points that we made to actually become fishing in the winter. But then we expanded even more, put our first clay pit down to receive some clay and to eventually have some more roof tiles, and also made sure to install our first farm, because that's going to be where we will soon have some nice growing crops. Well, eventually also there is a lot more stone to be gathered, but at this point we already had a lot of stone marked as our own. And after all, you can see how our town slowly began to grow and grow, and also that I decided to build my house in a very strategically optimized spot. As you can see, yet again I'm standing in front of my home fishing for some new fish that will provide me and my families and also my neighbors with some well-beloved food. But you know what? It actually became a little bit boring to always have fish and some vegetables, and we decided it was time to build Butcher's Lane, as you can see over here. Quickly built, we had a lot more animals to gain some food from, and our town actually expanded even more and more, and we were becoming very happy because in the background you can see our farm started to thrive as well, despite a very poor fertility. But nevertheless, we built our first communal oven to provide them with some well-needed bread. Even though it was a harsh time, we decided also to expand our church. We were becoming more and more people, so we needed more space to make confessions from our evil thoughts. Then again, that said, we had a good time. Our village was going to become stronger and stronger every day, and even the winter couldn't harm us anymore, having so much fuel and clothing and food that we gathered over the wonderful times. So I was making my way to the storage to get some more stuff for the winter, and I'm gonna show you what the village is looking like right now. Going through the winter, you can see the seasons passing by, and we had a good time at home. And after all, there were a lot of lambs coming to join the party. We were expanding and we had a target to even upgrade our houses furthermore and making sure that everyone is having the well-deserved market space they needed. But that, my friends, is a story for another video. Hopefully for now you enjoyed your day and I enjoyed my fish, and I'm gonna leave you with a splash. Goodbye.